And welcome back, family, to another installment of Metaphysics on Your Mind. You'll see, obviously, this is a little bit of a different backdrop than what we usually have. And we thought we'd just have a little conversation about where we've kind of come from over the last, actually, this is 1 year that we've been, doing Metaphysics on Your Mind. And we are so grateful to, the interest that has been shown. There have been people that go back to the beginning, again, because we look at the comments and we, you can kind of see a thread of commentary, and it's all fantastic. So we just thought that we would express how enriching it's been for us. Just to, we're sharing information. This is not my information or your information. This belongs to the universe, right? We're just uncovering what is already there. Just like, prior generations and prior peoples, we are encountering what is essentially already here. And metaphysics, as we've talked about when we go back to the beginning, how our thesis was that the Bible, that's our proposition, was that the Bible isn't necessarily meant to be read literally. People can do that, but that there is again, our proposition is that there is a greater value to understanding that these symbols, these allegories, these stories, these parables are something that you could relate to in the here and now. It's not about a historical event 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 years ago. For the most part, why would that be relevant to you today in your life? But when you understand that these stories are conveying inner truths that were common to humankind 5,000 years ago and is common to us today. So again, we're all different, right? We're at different planes of understanding, of experience. Some might be on this journey of discovery to quote unquote seek the higher versions of themselves. Others might be on this journey to provide resistance. And as we know, just like if you're training, right? If you're playing a sport, you aren't going to get better unless you go up against resistance. Unless, if you're an offensive player on the court, you want to go up against one of the better defenders because that's going to make you a better player, right? So, you exercise, you go to the gym, you do these things. Why? To build up stamina, to build up strength for, the physical arena that you encounter. And the same principle applies in the spiritual arena. Again, it's the metaphysical world. It's the invisible to the physical eyes, right? The five senses. We're going beyond the five senses. So that's a realm that is open to, well, you could say it's open to imagination. What you allow yourself to open up to. And one of the reasons that I think it's important to, as the ancient Egyptians, often said, is to know thyself. Because when you know yourself, then you understand how unique you are. There's nobody like you. and that was by design. So if we are all unique, right? Even twins are not 100% identical, right? Because you have a spirit, you have, you know what I mean? You have a mentality, not just the physical appearance, right? It goes deeper than the skin. Mm-hmm. So if we have all these unique expressions of humanity and modes of being and ways of being, wouldn't it make sense that ultimate, the source, the divine, God, the Most High, however you conceptualize it, wouldn't it make sense that you would not be asked to be changed into mimicking somebody else? You're unique, right? I mean, I don't know. What do you think?
No, I think that, yeah, you pretty much said it.
Well,
for sure.
You're a unique being. Mm-hmm. So what would be the point of having everybody be the same? There wouldn't be much point to it, right? This is, these are all the expressions, right, of creation, of the divine. So the idea here is that meditation, at least when we're speaking about what we call the watching or the no mind meditation, where you are attempting to clear the mind, right? And detach from the thoughts and the emotions of the mind. What we're saying is that by doing that in meditation for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, or whatever, it becomes an instructor in how you can detach from things that might bother you throughout the day in your daily life, thoughts that may come to you, annoyances that may happen. The ability to detach is strengthened by what you're going to go through releasing, doing your shadow work and meditation, because you're going up against who? Yourself. Okay? There's not going to be a nemesis that is going to have more nuances for you as shall we say, the challenge, because it's you. It's a mirror, right? So when you get to know yourself, then you begin to, you have a decision to make, right? You can face what you see. When we talked about the shadow side, the things that are hidden. Or if you choose not to do that, at some point, the way the proposition is, the way the universe works, is that it is going to put you in a situation where you will have to face those shadow aspects. And it will often be where it will take the form of another person, right? It could be a relationship where your partner reflects back to you shadow aspects of yourself that you are not conscious of, or that you are not aware of, or that you would prefer not to deal with, you see. And then what happens is you get put in a situation where, had we been able to do the work when we had the opportunity to going within, now we've got to work through it in the physical, which can be uncomfortable, which could mean that you could have two people in a relationship. Mm-hmm. If they don't have a healthy appreciation for themselves, okay, love of self, self-worth, well, what kind of a relationship do you think it's going to be? Up and down, potentially volatile. Why? Because you're reflecting back to you, right? That dark side. Because why? Because we said like attracts like, right? The vibration, the waveforms that we send out come back to us. So if you're sending out a certain signature and there's a response, then there's going to potentially be a person that is going to be, shall we say, the energetic form of what you may need to work on for yourself. See, that's how the universe works, is like, hey, if you don't want to deal with it directly, which is what going within is about, if you don't want to do it that way, then we're going to give you experiences in life that, shall we say, will be a catalyst to you having to deal and face these things and learn the lessons. Why? Because if you don't learn those lessons, you keep repeating the same cycles. See, when you think of time more as a cycle and less linear, you think of the word spirit, spiral, right? You can spiral up and you can spiral down. But you can look at each coil in that spiral as like a different level or a different dimension of, for lack of a better word, time, right? So you can repeat cycles until you learn the lesson that is attempting to be taught to you. You can do it the, less difficult way, or you can do it the hard way. So we just thought that, this past year on this journey, it has been so beneficial to us. Because see, when, as we all know, when you dig into things yourself, it becomes an experience as opposed to just an intellectual experience, intellectual knowledge, which is good, but for it to do what it needs to do, it needs to be actualized, it needs to be internalized, right? It's not about just knowing it here, it's about living it here in your being. So, for myself, I could say that just, like I said, sharing what I've picked up over the years freely from other people, which I'm very grateful about, that, that my spirit team has saw fit to, point me in the right direction, send me down these avenues where I could gain, different perspectives and an understanding that I wouldn't have if I had just stayed on one, say, the road that you came in on. If you don't deviate from that road, then, how do you know? In other words, you have no point of reference unless you have some parallel experiences where you can say through experience, not through intellect, right? Not through theory, but through practice and experience, you can say, you know what? I've done this and I've done that, and they're more or less kind of the same thing, but they are expressed in different ways. Each is of value, right? That's what this is all about. The value that each of us brings to this experience we call life. So all we're trying to do is share. I'm a student. I don't know how you feel, but I feel that every day, the more that I learn, the more I realize that I don't know, right? It's infinite, but it's not just humbling. It's exciting to experience creation, to experience this mystery that we're involved in, by being able to recognize the fact that you are a co-creator in the mystery. See, you're not, unless you want to be, you're not passive. You are active. In fact, you are the star of your movie. We each have a movie we're in. How's your movie going?
It's going pretty good. By the way, we want to thank all the viewers, people that have been, checking our channel out, and we really appreciate it. We've been getting a lot of comments that have been coming in, and I just wanted to,
express that,
and make sure that, everyone knows, how much we really appreciate all your comments. Well, you know what? There's a lot of things that people have to find a way to subdivide their time and their energy, right? Yeah. So
any interest or subscription, all that stuff it's beautiful, and we don't take it for granted. This again, we know that for some this is challenging material. For others, maybe not so much. But the idea is for those who want to explore more of the mysteries of what I would say is the metaphysical world, or the spiritual world, or the energetic world. That's what we're doing. We're saying, hey, that the mystery of God is infinite. So why would there not be infinite ways of expression? There can't possibly be any set doctrine or group of tenets that is going to work for everybody on this planet. That's not even the intent. It's a unique experience. And we have the right to have that experience on our own terms and not have it be defined by somebody else's experience, right? We can listen to counsel. We can listen to, what someone else's understanding of things may be, but you have the right to have your own. Okay. But of course, you want to expose yourself to different points of view so that you have more solidity in what you choose to be kind of like your personal philosophy, how you get down with life. So anyway, that's all this is about. We'll have a couple of other episodes coming up that will kind of touch on areas of faith. That's what we're going to do probably the next 2 or 3 episodes. Mm-hmm. And how, life sometimes asks us to take a leap of faith. Not blind faith, but a leap of faith means, at least in my view, that it has some connection to your experience. Okay? You don't have to have blind faith, but you may have to have faith in something that goes beyond what your experience has been, right? But you still have something that you can relate to it. So anyway, once again, thank you, everyone, and look forward to continuing on this exploration. Go ahead, T.
All right. Okay. Once again, thanks again. As you can see, he's the extrovert. I'm the introvert.
But it's all good, right?
Yeah, he's the talker, and as you can see, I'm,
It's all good. But, you do what you do, and it is what it is.
And I'm still learning all of this stuff. He's the one that's like really deep into it.
Well.
And he's been kind of, teaching me or whatever as well. So I'm sure all of you out there, I'm sure a lot of you out there already know, are really deep into this too as well.
Well, not everybody.
But not everybody.
The point is,
I'm sure a lot,
Yeah. It's something to look at, right?
Right.
In your, menu, daily menu of, when consuming information or whatever, it's something to take a look at. Yes. Once again, we thank you very much.
All right.
Peace.